An important win for Jamaica there, and plenty more 3x3 basketball action to come at the FCC. But we've switched venues now because there was joy for the host nation at Glasgow's International Arena earlier, as Scotland's Reuben Ward became their first ever Commonwealth gold medalist in the men's all-around artistic gymnastics. And we can head into the arena now and talk to our reporter, Alison Walker. Alison, the home crowd must have gone crazy. It must have been the most amazing atmosphere this afternoon.
Honestly, we are all still absolutely buzzing. What a phenomenal result and performance. He's the first Scot ever to win an all-around gymnastics title. So he's made history, as well as just enlightening and lighting up. I think the arena roof almost came off because of the noise, and he milked it. He went around on a victory lap as well. It was a wonderful moment for Team Scotland. It really was.
And a superb, consistent performance across all of the rotations, but particularly that pommel horse routine.
And you know, the thing about the all-around is the consistency, and it's also about whether you're leading from the front or whether you're chasing. His pommel horse, he's known for that, and his routine in the pommel horse was an absolute thing of beauty. But what he did after that was, in the vault and in the horizontal bars, he upped the difficulty, and his execution of both of those was absolutely fantastic as well. And he had to wait until the final gymnast performed, and then we had to get the numbers crunched, so it was a few minutes wait, and then he was crowned champion. It was absolutely incredible.
And we've seen some pictures of him receiving his gold medal, Alison, and he looks a little bit nonplussed, but I'm sure he was hugely emotional to once he realised that the gold medal was coming his way.
And he was nonplussed. He looked nonplussed throughout. He was just so calm, cool and collected throughout. But inside, I don't think it's quite sunk in what he's done yet. He was absolutely incredible. And the other piece of lovely news here is that Adam Tobin, who was fourth, just missed out on a medal. But his teammate, his injured teammate, Gabriel Langdon, was here to support him during the individual this morning. And Gabby also received his silver medal from the team. He's been released from hospital, cleared of serious injury, and he's been released from hospital, and at the hotel he received his silver medal for the team event alongside his England teammates. So that was really good to see as well.
Yeah, wonderful news to see Gabriel Langton signed off and fit and well. Listen, I know they're building up to another brilliant evening of action at the gymnastics as well. It's the women's event, and of course the Australians won gold in the team event yesterday. They looked in tremendous form. Are they likely to be among the medals today?
Absolutely. Again, the top qualifier is Brianna Scott, the national champion in Australia for the all-around. Her teammate, the legendary Georgia Godden, you've heard us mention her a few times, gold in the all-around last time in Birmingham. She'll be there. And the Canadians as well, Jill, 9 Commonwealth medals already for Ellie Black. She'll be a contender. And as regarding the home nations, the UK nations, if you like, Wales's Ruby Evans, second position in qualifying, so she'll be up there as well. And Abby Martin, she's the British national champion in the all-around for England. So I think it'll be very similar, it'll be very close, and it will go right to the wire. And they tell me that the beam is the pivotal apparatus, and medals are won or lost on the beam.
Yeah, we did see some of the gymnasts yesterday perhaps struggling on the beam, and it is, as you say, a pivotal part and element of this all-around. How does this one unfold then? Because I know that we will have attracted a lot of sports fans who perhaps haven't seen a huge amount of artistic gymnastics.
Well, there's 4 rotations. All the athletes, all the qualifiers, all 18 of them will do all 4 apparatus, one after the other. The scores will be added up. All the scores count in this for every athlete. And basically, it's the athlete, the gymnast, with the greatest score, the biggest score at the end, who will win the all-around title. And the all-around is a really special thing to win, because it means you're the best all-around gymnast. You don't necessarily have to be a specialist in particular in one of the apparatus, but you have to be pretty good at all of them.
Yes, it's about consistency and delivering across the piece. And listen, what a reception these gymnasts are receiving when they come into the arena, particularly, I suppose, the home nations there. There's the Welsh fans welcoming in those Welsh athletes. It's going to be a real belting atmosphere in the arena tonight, isn't it?
A huge amount of Welsh fans. They've come out to support this gymnastics team. They just missed out on a medal yesterday, but Ruby Evans is a real contender. But you know, when they get out into the heat of that competition, anything can happen. All these gymnasts are amazing. It's just who performs on the day, and also those ones with experience that have been here before as well. That always counts too. It's going to be amazing.
I was going to say just how important is that temperament, because we know these are the cream of the cream. They are all at the top of their game, these gymnasts, but it's about handling the nerves, handling that really unique atmosphere within the arena, isn't it?
And I've seen it in the youngsters as well, Jill. I've seen it in the 17 and 18-year-olds, how cool and calm they are as well. So age doesn't appear to be a barrier. Experience, I think, helps, but this is the Commonwealth Games. This is a massive stage for these athletes, and they all want to win, and they all can win. If they bring their A game and it works on the day, it can still happen.
Great stuff, Alison. Thank you very much indeed. Wonderful to see so many children in the crowd as well. Remember, Reuben Ward was inspired 2014. Who do we see coming through from these games? Let's get the action underway then in the arena, in the company of your commentators, Ollie Hogben and Blythe Lawrence.
Alina Tan of Singapore, silver medalist in the all-around competition of the National Championships this year. Philippa Buzatil of Malta, all-around bronze medalist from the Games of the Small States of Europe last year. Ellie Cheetham of Scotland, the reigning all-around champion of her country. Cadence Taedzer Chi, the Malaysia Games all-around champion. Her teammate, a Southeast Asian Games gold medalist in Yap Kung Sien. The all-around champion of New Zealand, Courtney McGregor. Welcome to them all, and congratulations to them all. They have made it to this huge occasion. It really is an incredible accomplishment. So, we will have two groups of gymnasts. These are the athletes who will start on the uneven bars. 4 rotations, because there are 4 apparatus in women's artistic gymnastics, and we're going to have a split warm-up system. So we'll get 5 gymnasts performing, then a warm-up break, then 4 gymnasts performing. So each rotation will be divided into 2 halves effectively. The top performers in qualification will start at the vaulting table, and it is there that we have got the last 2 Commonwealth Games all-around champions. Wonderful to have their company, wonderful to have your company. I'm Ollie Hogben, and I am delighted to be joined, as ever, by Blythe Lawrence. Blythe, there seems to be one really key story to start with, and that is the longevity of artistic gymnastics in the modern era.
Amongst the top qualifiers here, we have, as you mentioned, the last 2 all-around champions at the Commonwealth Games in Canada's Ellie Black and Georgia Godwin, who won 4 years ago in Birmingham. Both of them are in their late 20s. Both of them have had incredibly full gymnastics careers. Both of them have overcome their fair share of adversity and then some, and both of them in the qualification looked fantastic. absolutely at the top of their capabilities. The top qualifier today is Ellie Black. Georgia Godwin, who is returning from an Achilles tear 2 years ago, was the 4th strongest.
Yes, it is absolutely glorious. 30-year-old Ellie Black and 28-year-old Georgia Godwin, they have inspired each other to continue with this sport.
When Georgia Godwin in particular was coming back and doing the rehabilitation for her Achilles tendon, she was actually wondering if, being her age, she had maybe outlived her potential as a competitor. She wondered if she should just retire, and she thought about the people who might be able to relate, and so she reached out to Ellie Black and said, essentially, should I keep going? And Black responded, absolutely. Don't listen to what anybody else says. Do what pleases you. Do your gymnastics. And Godwin took that to heart, and she credits Ellie Black as the reason that she is here today.
We have so many other contenders as well, and there is one of them.
This could be a huge night for Wales. Ruby Evans, the reigning British champion, the first Welsh gymnast to win a medal at the World Championships. She did that on floor exercise in Jakarta last autumn. She has been terrific here as well. She went through a very clean program in the qualifications, and she is the best in the field on vault.
Welsh team watching on, and the Welsh team have come very close to the podium. She has really developed incredibly as a gymnast over the last couple of years.
And from an all-around standpoint here, she is going to start on a strength, and she is going to end on floor exercise, which is also a potentially enormous scoring event for her.
So, as a result, the Welsh are optimistic. We've got many other contenders. We've got gymnasts like Brianna Scott of Australia, who is their 2-time consecutive all-around champion. She looked magnificent in the qualification phase, but everyone is in with a chance. There's Amanda Yap, the history-making Singaporean.
Amanda Yap, who qualified for the balance beam final at the World Championships in Jakarta, the first Singaporean woman to be in a world final. She's very strong on balance beam and also on floor exercise.
It is time for us to discover the destination of the Commonwealth Games women's all-around title. But it's going to take a while, and it's going to be fascinating to watch every moment of it. Here we go. The first rotation. Brianna Scott of Australia. Great place to start because she was fantastic in the qualifying process. Part of the Australian team that won gold.
And a gymnast of quite impeccable execution. We might not see her near the top of the leaderboard after this apparatus, and the reason is because the difficulty credited to the Yurchenko full vault that she just performed is low compared to some of what we are going to see from other competitors.
And that's where it's good to just do a little housekeeping. All 4 scores added together, nothing can be discarded. This is Zelmi Daris of South Africa. She has come in as a late replacement for her teammate Caitlin Rooskrantz, and she joins her own sister Naveen. Good luck to the Daris family.
She begins with a Maloney straight to a Ginger release move once she's reached the high bar. Nicely done. And a blind turn to a lovely Pike Jaeger. The biggest thing on uneven bars is not to stop your swing. The routine has to be completely fluid. This is a really nice beginning for her.
Excellent. She's come in very late in the day and she's performed superbly with that first exercise. She got 11.85 in qualification, and we will refer to the qualification marks just as a guide, even though it's a 0 start. Brianna Scott gets 13.1, and that is over a quarter of a mark better than qualification, so well done to her. Just in case you need a reminder of it, it's difficulty plus execution that makes a single score for a gymnastics routine. Difficulty starts from 0, works upwards. Execution starts from 10, works down. Here's Ruby Evans, who's looking to work her way up to the top.
Double twisting Yurchenko, and wonderfully performed.
Now here is an interesting point of comparison on the difficulty. That is a whole twist further than the vault we just saw from Scott.
That's right, and it is 0.8 of a point in difficulty more. A big advantage potentially for Ruby Evans. The execution of this is going to be really good too.
This absolutely will put her right up there at the start. Ruby Evans, super vault. Oh, well done to Zelmidari's 12.6. So she has gained over half a mark from qualification in her first exercise. Christelle Lake from Scotland, the reigning Scottish champion on this apparatus. Good luck to her. Big moment.
She had difficulties on the uneven bars in the qualification, but clean slate today and a new opportunity for her and for Scotland. She's really capable of great execution, and her difficulty tariff is very good as well when she hits the routine. There's the ubiquitous Maloney to Ginger, a combination a lot of gymnasts are using because there is an extra 10th of bonus implicated. Double front dismount.
Very interesting. She was the 13th best performer overall in qualification. But if there's somebody who might break away and move up the standings, it's her, because she can score much higher. 14.1. That's better by 0.05 than qualification for Ruby Evans. Now this is Ellie Black, the all-around gold medalist from 2018.
She's going to show us a Sukahara with 1.5 twists, and she can nail the landing. This is amongst the hardest vaults that we will see in the competition. The difficulty associated with it, 4.8. So just a couple tenths below the double twisting Yurchenko that we saw from Ruby Evans. She has tremendous attack on this vault, but such control as well when it comes to the landing. The Sukahara, a half twist onto the table, and then a backflip with 1.5 twists on what they call the second flight. All of that in a blind landing. She doesn't see the ground before her feet touch.
It is at 13.25 for Lake. That is a massive improvement of over 1.5 marks from qualifying. Naveen Darius of South Africa, right after her younger sister has performed.
Maloney transition straight to the Ginger. She needs to finish these pirouettes at or very near a straight handstand. Just a little shy on that cast before the bail, but a good strong toe hack to the high bar. And Just a simple layout dismount, playing it a little bit safe. But there's strategy associated in that as well. Perhaps she does not want to take the risk of having a fall in a major deduction.
Ellie Black, 13.85. That is virtually the same as qualification, just a 10th down. Now to Emily Roper.
And she is indicating that she will do a full twisting Yurchenko. Wonderful control on the landing. Really light as a feather as she touches down. The Yurchenko style vaults in the layout position. The gymnast has to maintain that straight body position all the way through. She does a really good job of that, as well as keeping her legs completely straight, glued together, the toes pointed. And she comes up with a really good landing. This vault, a real study in controlled vaulting.
There's always a Roper somewhere. Abby watching Emily. And 13.3, so 2/10 up from qualifying, a 9.1 for execution. Great score. Amanda Yap of Singapore.
We're going to get a full twisting Yurchenko from her as well. Very pretty in the air.
She said after making the World Championship final on beam, if I can go through all of that, because she had her school examinations to do at the same time, maybe I'm still capable of doing things I might not have thought are achievable. Boosting confidence. 12.6 for Naveen Darius. So that's up from qualification. Alina Tan of Singapore. She won the Singapore Open last year.
She has a very fluid swing and one of the very best Ginger release moves in the world. Impeccable flight so far from Alina Tan. And she's overbalanced that handstand slightly, but she pulls it back. That will just be a small deduction.
And this introduces us to one of the most important principles of an all-around final, which is that it is not so much about what you lose as what you save. And that was a super save from her.
The paramount thing tonight, as it always is, but especially right now, is just not to come off the apparatus.
13 for Amanda Yap. She gains 3/10 from qualification with an 8.8 execution score.
Accompanying her, a familiar face, the New Zealand Olympian Georgia Rose Brown, who competed in Paris in 2024.
Yes, now a well-regarded coach.
Her dismount, a simple one, but done in combination with one of the requisite skills on uneven bars, the full turn.
Such an exciting occasion for these gymnasts to make it to the all-around final at the Commonwealth Games. And Singapore has got a young and impressive squad. Both of their athletes in this final are 17. They brought just one gymnast who'd been to the Games before. Yes, she should be really pleased with that. 11, that's 8/10 better than qualification. Only a 3.4 difficulty, but she's made the most of that with a strong execution evaluation. Across the Commonwealth, there are gymnasts who are really starting to make a name for themselves and for their nations. Malta's Filipa Busutil. She's been a World Cup finalist, part of the Maltese team that won gold at the Games of the Small States of Europe last year.
And she is incredibly promising. She begins with a combination of two skills, showing flight, the Maloney, and then a pack salto down to the low bar. Her release skill, a ginger. Clear hip circle, blind transition into front giants. And a clear hip with full turn that fulfills that full turn requirement. And then a layout dismount.
Filipa Busutil has been living and training in Italy for a couple of years, competing in the Italian top flight. It's got a very competitive league system. That's really helped her. And keep an eye on Sophie St. John, who is one of her teammates, who's a few years younger.
All three of the Maltese athletes made a very big impression in the team competition.
Yes, they were the early pace setters.
And a very competitive skill level displayed here.
Filipa Busutil won the uneven bars title at last year's national championships, which took place in Pembroke, which is where the national training centre is in the east of Malta. So much joy for Scotland earlier on, winning the gold medal in the men's all-around competition. First time ever that a Scottish gymnast has done that. You're watching Glasgow 2026 and the women's all-around final with Ruby Evans at the moment in first place. But we have the split warm-up system in operation, so it takes 2 goes, if you will, to go through each rotation. I'll explain more about that in a moment. 9.75 for Filipa Busutil. We're now in the second half of the first rotation. So that means that we've had scores registered for 10 of the gymnasts, but we've got 8 more gymnasts to register a score. So they get a little warm-up time, and then they will compete, and then we'll have a full leaderboard at the 1/4 mark. But what we do know is that Ruby Evans, Blythe, delivered a super vault.
A beautiful double twisting Yurchenko, as she typically does. One wonders about how Wales's 4th place finish in the team competition has affected her. They were ever so close to winning a team medal, and perhaps it has fired her up, motivated her even further to go out here and smash it tonight.
And on the subject of that Welsh 4th place finish, the gymnast who delivered the crucial performance for Team England that got them secure in 3rd place was Abby Martin, and she did it on floor, where she won the bronze medal at the last World Championships. She could really contend.
She's exceptionally good on vault and floor exercise. Now, in the team competition, she had costly mistakes on both uneven bars and balance beam. So in the qualification for all around, she was only 7th. However, if she goes through cleanly all 4 apparatus tonight, she could be amongst the very top gymnasts here.
There are so many what-ifs in the early stages of an all-around competition, and one of the most exciting things is seeing all of those hypotheses become concrete as we go through and possibilities start to narrow or open up. Canada has this amazing group of young gymnasts. They're under the guidance of Ellie Black, who's joked that she feels almost a bit like the mother hen of the team. On the subject of super young gymnasts, Shantay Ivamankwa from Bristol in England, a Commonwealth Games debut, 8th best in qualifying.
Let's see if she can control the landing of this full twisting Yurchenko. That was the big thing for her with this vault in the qualification. Much better today.
Yes, let's look back at the landing of this vault.
She's only going to incur a small deduction for what is a very minuscule hop, maybe a 1/10 of a point.
Second half of rotation number 1. So these are the gymnasts starting on the uneven bars. They'll then go to beam, then to floor and finish on vault. Every one of these gymnasts has their own story, their own journey to get here, and hers is amazing. Ellie Cheetham, the Scottish all-around champion, returned after retirement, a 6-year gap.
She trained this routine extremely well. It didn't really go her way in the qualification, but so far, she's doing fantastically. The Ginger has been caught, and the double tuck is nearly stuck. Well done, Ellie Cheetham.
Scotland's Ellie Cheetham, who had 2 surgeries, had 6 years away from the sport, went to the Scottish Championships just to see how it would go, find out what level she was at. She won the national title, and here she is at the Games. 12.95 for Shantay Ivamankwa is an improvement by a 1/4 of a mark compared to qualifying. This we expect to be a very big vault from Abby Martin. It should be a double twisting Yurchenko of 5.0 difficulty. Could see her right up the leaderboard early on.
She's very powerful with this, tends to get great distance from the table.
And she does have quite a bit of backwards adjustment, which will affect the execution score, but that will get a high difficulty mark.
There's a lot of backwards momentum associated with the way that she does this vault. She's a little flat coming off of the table. Ideally, you'd like to see a bit more rise of the body and a bit of a bigger vertical. But she does what she needs to do to get the double twist around. And the step back on the landing is really associated with the way that she blocks off the table. Right here, backwards instead of upwards. That said, a quality piece of gymnastics for Abby Martin.
The Olympian from Paris, part of the combined British team that finished 4th. Abby Martin. She says she often feels like she's dreaming and forgets this is what her real life is. She's made such progress, as has she. I don't think she can believe she's here. Ellie Cheetham, 11.7. That's a small improvement from qualification. Now here is a 16-year-old from Malaysia, Cadence Tay Zerchi, the Malaysia Games all-around winner in 2024. She was the 18th best in qualification.
Very bright young competitor on the uneven bars, which tends to be a Malaysian strength. Unfortunately, she did not have the correct swing to go into that Stalder Shaposhnikova. She was supposed to soar over the low bar, grab the high bar. We'll see if she opts to repeat the skill. As it is, she wouldn't receive the difficulty credit for what she attempted.
Yes, that's an important principle, isn't it? Sometimes the gymnasts have to repeat in order to be sure, and there we go, of the difficulty.
Much better.
She did ever so well at the Asian Championships early this year to finish in the top 15 in the all-around competition and qualify for a spot at the World Championships later this year. Abby Martin picks up a 13.6 score, so she's improved a little from qualification. Right, you want to see some good vaulting, do you? Here's Leah Monica Fontaine of Canada. Silver medalist at her debut World Championships last year, the second Canadian woman to get onto the vault podium at world level.
And she can fly.
Oh, goodness.
Stellar double twisting Yurchenko. She is a master at good block off the table. Right here, you see the lift of the body. It's very conspicuous. And she gets a big piece of air as a result. Plenty of time to turn the two twists and really spot the landing.
It really is fantastic technique, isn't it?
Yes. Gymnasts drill the block. It's one of the things that she will have worked on in the gym.
11.55 for Cadence Te Zhi. So it is a small improvement from qualifying. Here is a gymnast who's got a very interesting uneven bars exercise with some complexity to it. Yap Kung Shin of Malaysia.
There's a small leg separation on her opening pirouette, but she does connect it successfully with the pack salto down to the low bar. Maloney to Ginger, one of the most popular combinations that we've seen on uneven bars at these games. Dismount, full twisting, double tuck.
Two young gymnasts from Malaysia making it through to this all-around final at the 23rd Commonwealth Games, and there will be Malaysian representation in the apparatus finals. 14.3, so we've got a new leader. She's managed to find a way to gain half a mark from qualifying, Leah Monica Fontaine. Here is Georgia Godwin, the reigning Commonwealth Games all-around champion, the 28-year-old from Queensland, a true great.
And we're going to see the same vault that we saw from Ellie Black, but actually she has opted to do something simpler, to water back tonight. She indicated the Sukahara with 1.5 twists, but what she performed was just a Sukahara with a full twist. I wonder if potentially she felt that something was a little off as she came onto the springboard. It might be the hand placement on the table. Of course, that's just speculation. But let's have a look and see. Actually, her left arm bends quite a lot at the elbow, and she will have felt that something was not right and modified her trajectory accordingly.
12.25 for Yap. Close to her qualification score. Wonderful stories throughout this all-around final. The soon-to-be Dr. Courtney McGregor of New Zealand, a finalist in the medical profession. She's completing her studies and she has made a triumphant return to the sport of artistic gymnastics after retiring due to a very severe Achilles injury.
She was actually poised to make her Commonwealth Games debut in 2014, was in the city of Glasgow and training, and sustained an injury then and didn't compete.
She has made the vault final, and we will see her competing on day 4 of the Games. unfortunate moment there, just a little way away from the Jaeger.
She's not particularly keen about the uneven bars to begin with, to be frank, and she said that.
Yes, she's described herself as a bar hater at heart. I don't think that has improved her fondness for them, but the fondness that the gymnastics world feels for Courtney McGregor, now that is untouchable.
And amongst the young gymnasts watching this, there may be people who hear the word bars hater and nod along going, yes, I sympathize and understand that.
She's so respected, isn't she, Courtney McGregor? Almost had that. One full mark, unfortunately, as I'm sure many of you know, gets taken away from the gymnast's execution score if they unintentionally dismount the apparatus. Georgia Godwin, 12.9. Now that is a drop of over half a mark from qualification because the difficulty score is significantly lower.
And that comes from having performed 1/2 twist less than she was intending. But the important thing is that she is all right.
Yes, as you say, likely that she made a quick adjustment. And when you are a gymnast as intelligent as she is, as intelligent as Courtney McGregor is, as experienced, then you make these quick decisions for your well-being. This is the leaderboard after rotation, 1 of 4. The leader is Leah Monica Fontaine of Canada. Ruby Evans of Wales is second. Ellie Black of Canada is third. We have a long way to go, and all of these gymnasts who are on the second page will be hoping to push up, including the champion from Birmingham 2022, Georgia Godwin.
So Leah Monica Fontaine from Canada leading the way at this early stage, and we will be back in the arena shortly for the next rotation, but it's time to make our first visit back. Now we can return to the Glasgow International Arena and rejoin the women's all-around gymnastics final in the company of Ollie Hogbin and Blythe Lawrence.
Christelle Lake starts rotation number 2. She represents Team Scotland and is on the beam.
Two leaps right off the top of this exercise. Sometimes she's able to connect them, but she didn't do that today. So already her difficulty might be down a bit from what she was intending to show. Once again, though, the important thing, staying on the apparatus. Acrobatic series coming up, back handspring, layout, step out. Well done. Combinations like that front aerial to jumps help build the difficulty. On every apparatus except for vault, it is 8 elements that count towards the difficulty score. So far, this has been really good.
So impressive, the start that she's made. A massive improvement on the uneven bars compared to qualification. That's likely to be a strong improvement on beam. We did say that if there was a gymnast who had the potential to really jump up from lower down the rankings, it was her. And it looks like she's in the mood to do it. Second place after rotation number 1. Wales's Ruby Evans. No Welsh gymnast has ever been on the all-around podium in the women's competition.
This isn't her hardest routine, but it might be the biggest challenge in her program. The Ginger has given her problems in the past, none today. This is very strong from Ruby Evans. The dismount is big, double front.
And she does so well to keep control of that. That will be probably a good half mark to come off the score, but she stayed on her feet, preventing loss of a full mark.
And in the interior of the routine, she made all of the connections that she was intending to do. Minimal execution errors, just that step on the dismount.
12.35 is over a mark better than qualification. Crystal Lake is about 2.5 marks or so up.
And she has two of her strongest apparatus to come.
Naveen Darius of South Africa. Both of the Darius sisters started with a 12.6 on the uneven bars. She has been the all-around champion of South Africa, and when she finished 6th at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, it was the best ever women's all-around finish for South Africa.
Great amplitude on her switchly path. What's notable in this routine is not just the acrobatics that she does, the choreography is so full of character. Safely through the acrobatic series. Gymnasts have to show 2 or more acrobatic elements with flight, so handsprings and somersaults essentially in every routine. She's setting up for a very difficult turn in the sit or Cossack position. She rotates the double. That's going to get her a fair bit of difficulty. And nary a wobble.
She's spoken with such positivity about her experiences at the Commonwealth Games. She said that the all-around final in Birmingham 4 years ago taught her how to just keep enjoying the process, celebrate being there, because it leads her to better performances when she's having fun. 12.85. Ruby Evans, good score, down a little from qualifying, close to half a mark. Here's Ellie Black, scored almost 14 on the uneven bars in qualification.
You won't see a more powerful swing in this competition. Very good handstand position. There's the Shaposhnikova, the clear hip uprise, and a transition quite unique known as a Yezhova. The Van Leeuwen back up to the high bar. Her dismount, really original as well. She puts her toes on the bar and will do a front flip with a half twist.
Fabulous! Well done, Ellie Black. And what handstand she hit there. 12 o'clock.
Absolutely. She is somebody who is able to use the flexibility or bounce of the uneven bars really well.
Naveen Darius, 12.3. So virtually the same as qualification. What a good standard we're seeing from these gymnasts in the women's all-around final. Lovely to see people performing either where they were in qualifying or even better. Here's Alina Tan. Crowd always loves that, don't they?
That mount is known as a candle for obvious reasons. The gymnast does a back dive from the springboard and lands in what we call a chest stand. Here comes her acrobatic series. Now, She broke the connection. She didn't do the two elements fluidly, and that could impact her score because she needs to show a fluid connection in order to get what they call composition points for just doing the requirement. She actually gets half a point added to her score. And now she doesn't have one of the requirements on balance beam. And my guess is that she's not going to try to repeat it or add anything. She's just going to go with it.
Interesting to see what sort of score we get in there from a gymnast who looks as though she's really relishing this big opportunity and having a lot of fun being out there. Alina Tan of Singapore. Ellie Black scores 13.25. So it is a bit of a drop from qualification. Emily Roper. Good start to the competition, 5th after one rotation.
This was exceptional in qualification. One of the reasons why is because of the difficulty, the variety of skills that she shows, many of them done in combination, but also her gorgeous straight handstands, very close or at vertical all the time whenever she finishes. And such a silky smooth Jaeger release skill.
There's lots of discussion about the Welsh prospects in this final, and Emily Roper has got to be at the heart of that as well as Ruby Evans. Brilliant young gymnast. That was an extremely precise looking effort. Very happy looking Welsh coaches.
Just beautiful work through and through. Her Shaposhnikova done from a Stalder. So the way that she works into it, a little bit more difficult than the traditional element. And she combines that with a pack salto, one of the many intricate combinations in that exercise.
11.7 for Alina Tan. And that is a good improvement from qualification of about a mark. Filipa Buzutil of Malta. She's great on this apparatus.
Her mount sequence is incredible when she hits it. She's going to do a series of tumbling elements down the beam, round off back handspring, and oh, she made it in the qualification. She'll have another chance in the apparatus final.
Just so difficult, isn't it, to stay in alignment when you've got such complexity in the mount sequence.
Exactly. And when from the springboard you're off on the first skill in your shoulders or your hips and you're not square with the beam, well, it's just very difficult to continue. That also a unique move, a backward extension roll. And she can just take this as an extra practice for the apparatus final. In this routine today, she has appeared quite tentative as she goes into all of her skills. She just needs to be a bit more aggressive and she'll be fine.
And you have to allow a young gymnast, indeed a gymnast of any age, to have moments where it's not quite as it should be. That's just part of the process. She'll be fine. Emily Roper, 13.3. She is having a good competition. That's 0.3 down from qualifying, but very competitive. Amanda Yap now goes to the uneven bars. 11.9 in qualification.
We know her as a beam specialist, and here we're getting to know her as an emerging all-around contender. It's really exciting for Singapore. It seems like there's an extra layer of polish to everything that she does. Arms and elbows and toes and knees all locked out on these elements.
Polish is exactly right. The Singaporean gymnasts have got really nice technique. They're very in control of their work.
It's not the hardest exercise that we'll see on uneven bars, but in terms of the way that she presents each of these elements, she pays so much attention to detail. Everything very pretty. The full pirouette, not as close to the handstand when she finishes as she might want, but some of these things still a work in progress.
Philippa Buzutil, World Cup finalist on the balance beam, and that's a very big accomplishment. The weight goes on. Moment of tension for her. She will be hoping to see the back of that score. It was a 12.85 in qualification, 9.65 here. Looking forward to seeing that routine in the apparatus final, because at its best it's really competitive and could well get onto the podium. Ellie Cheetham, big beam routine this. Can she deliver?
Good precision on her connected leaps. Nice side aerial, just a bit off, but makes the correction, and she's not going to lose much in execution for that wobble. That's going to be a bigger problem, and also it might cost her a bit of difficulty. We'll see. She does fulfill the requirement of a full turn on the balance beam with that. Another turn sequence imminent. Risky double turn, well handled. Now here comes her acrobatic series, back handspring, layout right at the end of the beam, and unfortunately she's off.
The very fact that she is here is a victory beyond any sequence of skills she could put together on any apparatus, because it is a credit to her resilience, her determination, that she's managed to come back after such a difficult spell. She was in hospital, had a surgery that went wrong just before her return. Amanda Yap scoring 11.45. Ninth place after vault, but with the potential to move up. Here is Shantava Mankwa, and she's got a rip-roaring uneven bars routine.
She does a sequence right off the top of forward stalders, this one with a half turn, and then a stalder into Tkachev, straight into a packed salto. A little bit of trouble as she regrasped the bar, but she worked her way out of the jam. Again, a stalder to blind transition and a double front dismount.
She had to really hop forwards coming out of the tuck position. There are very few gymnasts in the world who get the knees as tightly into the body in the tuck position as she does.
She's very quick twitch on that dismount. Changes gears extremely fast. So here's the sequence that, in terms of difficulty, is incredible, but her legs bend a little bit as she recatches the bar on the Kachev element, and then again in the pack salto. But she has the fortitude to just kip off and continue going, and by the time she hits the handstand, she's completely back on track. The theme of this exercise is the Stalder, and she does that combined with a half turn right into the double front.
Ellie Cheetham, 10.7. She said one of the reasons that she wanted to return was for her grandma, and in quotes, she says, who was the craziest Scottish lady you could imagine. Shantae Amankwa started her training at Bristol Hawks at the age of 6. The same club as her hero Claudia Fragapane, the only English champion in the all-around competition for women. There we go. Crowd agrees. And there was a party in this place earlier when Scotland won gold in the men's all-around competition through Ruben Ward. 13.35.
Cross. Okay, we'll be back at the pool shortly, but we're crossing to the Glasgow International Arena now as we continue the women's all-around gymnastics final with the opening performances from the third rotation. Commentary from Ollie and Blythe.
The floor exercise of Malta's Filipa Buzatil in rotation number 3 of the women's all-around final at Glasgow 2026, with one rotation to come after this and the competition finally balanced. She is a huge part of proceedings. Emily Roper.
All smiles after balance beam, and with good reason.
Excellent. 12.55. You were correct, Blythe, with good reason, because that's almost 1.5 marks better than qualification. Amanda Yap goes to the beam, and she knows what she's doing on this apparatus.
Switch leap mount. With Amanda Yap on beam, it's not just the difficulty, which is bountiful, but also the polish that she has in every element. Look at the amplitude on that switch ring, the head going back, her losing sight of the beam, and then straight into this sequence with flight, back handspring, and not a layout step out, but a layout that lands on the beam with both of her feet at the same time. That is hard, very hard, and she will be rewarded in difficulty for it.
In many ways for her, this is a practice run for the apparatus final in a couple of days, and that's one of the creases she'll hope to iron out.
She did have a few small checks right at the beginning, and sometimes when you're a little bit off early in the routine, it can kind of build up and result in a fall later on.
The entire Singaporean team has said that seeing Amanda Yap achieve what she did at the World Championships, finishing 6th on beam, has motivated all of them to want to be better, to believe in themselves. Philippa Buzatil, I think the Maltese team is having a similar experience, 10.45. She's part of a great young crop of gymnasts coming through. Here is Scotland's all-around champion, Ellie Cheetham.
Cheetham, who came out of retirement because she wanted to finish her gymnastics career on her own terms. She went to the Scottish Championships just to gauge where she was. She won the entire competition, and it has led her here to Glasgow. Wherever she finishes in the rankings tonight, she will have inspired young gymnasts.
11.95. The score awarded to Amanda Yap. That's 1 mark exactly down from qualification, and she did take a full mark deduction for coming off the apparatus. 5th place at the halfway stage, Shantae Vamankwa of Team England.
She has several intricate combinations planned in this balance beam routine. A really calm side aerial begins the proceedings. Setting up now for her flight series. Back handspring layout. Very confident. And stands straight up out of the punch front. This a setup for a complicated turn done in the sit position. She rotates it around twice and has to grab the beam. There will be a significant deduction implicated in that. The judges may well count it as a fall. Might impact the difficulty on the turn too. The dismount, a gainer with a full twist, very complex.
She really has a style about her as a gymnast that is just wonderful to watch. 10.55, she's got an exuberance about her that is wonderful to watch. She said, Ellie Cheetham, when she put on the kit ahead of the games, that white and blue never looked so good. Now to cadence Tae Chi from Malaysia. The young gymnast from Malaysia, Cadence Tae Chi. She made the floor final at the Southeast Asian Games in her debut at that prestigious event last year. 12.2. That's the beam score for Shanteva Mankwa. It is better than qualification, but just by 0.05 of a mark. She's currently in third position, but we have many more still to come. This is Abby Martin.
In qualification, she had what could be considered a fluke fall on one of her acrobatic elements. We'll see if she gets able to correct that. She's very capable of hitting this routine. Back handspring, layout, step out, layout, step out. Oh, well done. She's one of the few gymnasts here that is attempting a triple flight series, and with the last two elements being ones in which she doesn't touch her hands to the beam. Really difficult work. Quickly makes the correction when she's just a bit off on the front aerial. Her teammates are coaching her through this, reminding her to keep her body tight.
Abby Martin's development as a gymnast from the age of 15 through to 18, where she is now, is among the best of any gymnast in the world. Her progress has been huge. Cadence Tae Chi with an 11.8 score. She's in 5th place at the moment. Ellie Black still leading. Emily Roper 2nd. Shanteva Mankwa 3rd. Let's see where Abby Martin features.
And let's take another look at that fantastic flight series while we're at it. Perfectly square with the beam, her shoulders and hips, through both of those layout step outs. The dismount also just beautiful, such height on her round off double pike, and a great landing as well.
rolling for the camera, yeah.
I know.
There's a wonderful video from just before the games of Abby Martin and an England netball player standing eye to eye. And then the camera zooms out and the netball player's legs are at a 45-degree angle in the half splits. They did some really lovely social media content, actually, Team England. Well, all of the teams have done ahead of these games. One of the great world's sporting nations, Canada, and Commonwealth powerhouses in gymnastics, the most successful of all the nations. Abby Martin, 11.65, quite similar to qualification.
And we'll rejoin the gymnastics later. We'll keep you posted, of course. Ellie Black of Canada leading the way at the moment in that women's all-around. That's what they look like then after that third rotation. As I said, Ellie Black of Canada out in front of Emily Roper. Impressive performance from her, and Shantime Amankawa of England. But we will be back for more finals. But it's time to get across to Toll Cross. And there is Ellie Black on the beam. It's the final of the women's all-around gymnastics. Of course, we saw a win for Ruben Ward of Scotland earlier today. This was earlier today. Ellie's leading the competition for Canada. This, a great performance on the beam. So after rotation 3, Black is in front in the women's all-around. We're going to join rotation 4 now and join our commentators, Ollie Hogben and Blythe Lawrence.
Welcome to the arena in Glasgow, the 2026 Commonwealth Games, and the last rotation of the women's all-around final in artistic gymnastics. A very interesting place to begin, with the gymnast who is leading the chasing pack. At the moment, Leah Monica Fontaine of Canada is third, Brianna Scott of Australia is second, Ellie Black of Canada is leading. It is close though, and just half a mark away from the podium, as things stand, is this gymnast. Emily Roper of Wales. Fourth place with one rotation to go. Good luck to her. Big moment. What an effort. What an effort from Emily Roper. How hard she has worked to get onto the podium. It may well be that it just doesn't quite happen on this occasion for a great young gymnast. Alina Tan of Singapore. She will vault to finish her final.
Showing a 3.8 level of difficulty, the Sukahara with full twist in the less complex tucked position.
And I would say showing us exactly what she's all about in this final. And the Singapore team have shown so much promise.
They don't always have the difficulty that gets them big numbers, but they do really compelling gymnastics. And it's gymnastics that they can handle. A very healthy looking piece of gymnastics, this. Executed very cleanly.
This is the biggest all-around final of her young career by some way. Proud of her sister. Abby watching on. And you see, you can't dampen the spirit of the Welsh team, no matter what the outcome is on the scoreboard. That's a 12.5 score, and Alina Tan has added 2 full marks to her qualification score in this all-around final. Emily Roper goes into the gold medal position with a 50.35 total score. It's 11.2 though on floor. So 50.35 is the total that everyone else will try to get beyond. Amanda Yap, great performer on floor. We're going to see more of Amanda Yap at these games in the apparatus finals. We're going to see more of her in the future.
And let us not forget that for all of these gymnasts, this is their 8th full routine in 36 hours. That's a lot.
Philippa Buzatil of Malta.
And next to the ball, representing Malta, Philippa Buzatil.
Round off entry vault. Very simple. Yurchenko holds the layout position nearly all the way through and comes up with a very nice landing.
Now she is going to rest and recharge and have a day off and then get ready for the balance beam final on day 5 of the games.
And we'll keep you updated with the all-around final as it develops to Glasgow's International Arena, and it's really hotting up in the women's all-around final. This is the floor routine from Leah Monica Fontaine of Canada. She really set the early pace with a fantastic performance on the vault. She had the highest score in the vault discipline, this in her fourth rotation. The floor, again, with the best performance so far. So we can get to the action very shortly. This is the standings after her rotation. We've got a few more still to come. Leah Monica Fontaine, as I said, of Canada, in the gold medal position at the moment. The English gymnast there in second. And now we can get into commentary with Ollie and Blythe.
Of Australia, who has given it all to get onto the all-around podium. She needs in excess of 12.7 to go into the lead. She scored 12.75 in qualification.
In order for her to go into the lead, the difficulty of her routine is such that she needed to execute everything nearly perfectly.
Over to the judges. Zelmidaris has done really well. 12.7 her vault score. Here's Christelle Lake. A last turn in this all-around final for her. Hope she takes a moment afterwards to take it all in.
It's a great place for her to end. Yurchenko with 1.5 twists.
It's a great vault to end with, isn't it? Well executed. We are nearing conclusion.
She did very well to land this vault as nicely as she did, given that she was drifting quite far off to the left as she hit the table on the back handspring.
Brianna Scott, fantastic member of the Australian team, such a strong team as well.
And such polished work always on floor exercise. Real strength in holding that Cossack sit position. If you don't believe me, try it at home yourselves.
Is it enough for her to go into the lead? It is. She's in the gold medal position. 12.8. She's gone into the lead by 0.1. Leah Monica Fontaine is in second place. 1/10 the gap. Well done, Brianna Scott. What a moment for her. Now we witness the performance of Ruby Evans. The crowd knows how much she has given. And they respect and appreciate the tenacity and the pride in wearing the Welsh colours of Ruby Evans. Whether the numbers add up, the heart is at 100%. Same for her, Christelle Lake. She's loved every minute of the experience. Now to Naveen Darius of South Africa, who's loved competing alongside her younger sister for the first time at the Games, even though this is her third appearance.
She's demonstrated such composure tonight. How fitting that she ends with a very solid, secure Yurchenko full.
She's competed at the Olympic Games. She's represented South Africa at 6 World Championships and 3 consecutive all-around appearances at the Commonwealth Games. Her childhood best friend, Caitlin Rooskrantz, watching on from the crowd, having withdrawn from the final for health reasons, and her sister Zelmi Darius taking her place. So it's all worked out wonderfully. It's now just a wait to see what score we get for Ruby Evans. She's in 5th position. The last performance comes from a gymnast who excels in having the last word. Ellie Black, looking to win the title 8 years after she took it for the first time. She needs in excess of 12.6 in qualification. She got 12.7. Years on from the Glasgow 2014 Games, 8 years on from the all-around title in Gold Coast. Ellie Black completes yet another all-around final at the Commonwealth Games. We're going to have either a 24-year-old or a 30-year-old winning the all-around title at the Commonwealth Games. And how lovely that the last 2 champions embrace. There's the current leader. What an effort that was from Ellie Black. What an effort it always is from Ellie Black.
She put her heart and soul into that routine.
Naveen Darius currently in 9th position. And there is now just one more score to come in. Absolutely. Full commitment. But isn't it always? And look at the gymnasts lining up to offer their appreciation to her.
It is a masterpiece of choreography, this. Such expressivity. Such terrific tumbling as well. On her final pass, she opted to do a half twist less than she usually does and a half twist less than she did last night. So her difficulty might be lowered just a shade.
It's Ellie Black! It's gold again! 8 years after her first all-around title at the Commonwealth Games, she becomes the first woman to win the title twice. Ellie Black is your Commonwealth Games champion. The 30-year-old. And enormous congratulations must go to Brianna Scott of Australia, who takes second place in the silver medal. It's Leah Monica Fontaine of Canada who has won the bronze. Two gymnasts at totally different stages of their careers, sharing the honour of holding one of the greatest flags in world sport. And let Brianna Scott not be forgotten as part of this, and how wonderful that Georgia Godwin, the champion from 2022, holds the flag alongside her. Brianna Scott, you have worked and worked and worked for this moment. Take it all in. Leah Monica Fontaine, Blythe, something of a breakout performance for her in terms of all-around gymnastics.
Absolutely phenomenal tumbling displayed in her last routine. A very well-deserved medal won.
The classified results in the women's all-around competition. Bronze to Leah Monica Fontaine of Canada, silver to Australia's Brianna Scott, and the gold medal won by such a tiny margin by Ellie Black of Canada, 8 years after the first time she won it. Congratulations to every one of the 18. They've told their stories and they've entertained us.
What a finale to the all-around gymnastics. Huge congratulations to the Canadian gymnasts there. And Ellie Black, well, winning that Commonwealth title in 2018 and coming back at the age of 30 to become the first woman to win it twice here in Glasgow. A magnificent performance, leaving it to the final performance